Juggalos in recovery. Juggalos in recovery. Juggalos in recovery.
Today's topic is going to be sobriety in the face of adversity, based off of ICP's Play With Me off of the amazing Jekyll Brothers. So, in here, I'm going to just quote a couple of the lyrics because I got some shit written to it. So, one of the first lines is every year it feels like there are more of us, and all we do is fill the box. So this can be difficult and an isolating experience to try to be sober, especially when you feel like you were being rejected, discarded, or just ignored by your others. And that happens to a lot of us, especially when we're trying to separate ourselves from what used to be our normal circles, our normal fucking everything that we do. Uh, You know, we're abandoned, we're forgotten, we're invisible because we're not doing the same things that our circles used to do. But in order to maintain sobriety, it's important to stay focused on the present moment rather than getting caught up in negative thoughts or emotions. This involves paying attention to our own thoughts and feelings, as well as the actions and reactions of those we choose to have around us. By staying present and focused, we can better understand the root causes of our challenges and work towards finding solutions. In addition to staying present, it is important to practice self compassion, the self care in times of adversity. This means treating ourselves with kindness, understanding, and just doing shit that is only for us rather than pushing ourselves for or punishing ourselves for our mistakes or shortcomings. It also involves taking care of our physical and emotional well being by taking a walk, making sure we're eating, we're showering, we're maintaining a social life so that we don't end up so separated from the real world that we can't re-enter it. Uh, we are also need to be relying on community and mindfulness. Engaging in self care, going to a show, or just spending time with people who actually support what efforts you're putting forward. And this is something we see time and time again, especially in people that are either relapsed multiple times or are just starting out. They don't latch on to any sense of community, and they end up getting fucked up about the whole idea of what it is to be in either a program or a sober community. Is you have to kind of be able to lean on your peers or people that you look up to inside of that scene. We just had a guy that was coming to every meeting. He had one hiccup in his life, and that caused him to stumble so hard that he separated himself from everybody else that was in his community. And now he's circling back around to people that he used to be around when he was at his worst. And he's still not coming around. He didn't learn anything from his stumble. When you don't have a support system in your sobriety and you are still facing adversity or challenges in your social circle or family, it can be difficult to stay sober and on the right path. In these situations, it can be helpful to lean on in person or online meetings, as well as sober groups or social media where or other resources for inspiration and support. You can find websites where you can read about shit if you're not into the social shit. You can join our Facebook group, talk to other people that are also struggling. You can just come to these meetings if that's all you need. It's just you need to be looking for guidance or at least somebody to hold you accountable when you feel yourself starting to struggle. Just like the lyrics suggest, it can feel like you are looking through a tiny crack at the life you once knew, longing for that comfort and familiarity of the past. But as time goes on, you may realize that your old habits and patterns are no longer serving a purpose for you. That's what it did for me. I had to come to sobriety by myself, and that made me reflect on why I was drawn to the things I was. And the reality of it was is I was always looking for an escape because what was happening in my life was just so boring that I couldn't find a really constructive way to make it enjoyable. And me going through what I did with all the self reflection really taught me how to enjoy the mundane. But with the right support and resources, it is possible to move forward and create a new, healthier future. As you continue on your sober journey, it may be helpful to keep in mind the lyrics towards the middle of the song. I can feel you. I relate with you. No need to talk to them. This can be a reminder to focus on your own thoughts, your own feelings, your own experiences rather than getting caught up in the drama or negativity of those around you. By staying true to yourself and staying focused on your goals, you can overcome the issues, the adversities, and be successful in your own sobriety. And I'll go ahead and open it up to other people to talk shit at me. D, you're up.
Put the egg on the hot plate. Um, I mean, everything you said right there is just very, very true. Like, I mean, I completely agree because if I sit here and look on my early recovery days, I mean, that's what I first leaned into was my community of people, my network of people. After I found that group of people, um, because I needed those people to keep driving and push me forward in what I was doing. And I like cut off all my old like friends and social networks and like everything to give myself a chance at this. Um, and I don't think I would have made it in early recovery if I didn't do that. You know, if I didn't have that support system. Now the thing for me, the longer that I stay sober is just to make sure I keep showing up. You know, like I've been like actually kind of like miserable because I've been sick and then not having my regular meetings and didn't make it to home because I want to get a whole bunch of other people sick. And that kind of threw me off kilter there for a bit. So I had to like start feeling better and being back because like not having my network, even if I don't meet them the way I used to, uh, still not having, you know, people on a regular basis, kind of doesn't, you know, makes my spirits go down a little bit, if that makes sense.
I dig it. Anthony, you got anything you want to add into that one?
Uh, I kind of just on my way of like in the last 2 years, I've made more growth than I have in like the last 20. And I just recently realized something. I was going through this process of basically doing the 12 steps over and over and over again for like a year. I went batshit fucking insane, burnt all of my contacts, have no more friends or business contacts or anything. Then went to the gathering of the Juggalos, had like a life changing fucking experience, found my God in the pit, and fucking, all that good shit. Finally started to I don't know, all those step work and stuff that I was doing before, even drug addled and crazy, I realized I was still doing this step work, kind of opened up a change for me, but I burnt all of my contacts and shit away already. So there's like I'm kind of just stuck in the only place, the only home that I've ever known, but I've sort of burnt away everybody that I used to have in my life while I was trying to figure all this stuff out. Did a lot of psychedelics and went pretty crazy and, got really psychotic. So I thought it'd be a great idea to start self medicating with acid. And that wasn't the way to go. I'm just
You
kind
know,
of really no support except for you guys these days and my brother. You met my brother a couple times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, you've got your own support system, but it seems to be only one person other than the online side. So
Yeah,
lean into the online side a bit. We're here,
now
we're
we get to me
available.
being in a really rural area. Most of the time, I have to like crank my head. I'm actually getting pretty good service right here. I might get more into meeting people online or the Juggalos in Recovery on Facebook.
Yeah, I don't do the social media, but the groups there, it's active, and it's helpful to find just a handful of others, and that's all you really need. Just a handful of people that you can try to reach out to when you struggle, because the thing is you only struggle for that moment. You don't struggle every second of every day.